You seem like you're a fucking great comic shop owner.
I appreciate
love to come out and see you sometime.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. This is our 61st episode of this weekly drama that we call Fantastic Comics Presents. We show up every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on the West Coast, and my name is Ewell. There you go. That's how I spell it. My name is Ewell. And I own Fantastic Comics. It's a comic book store in Berkeley, California. And I have this little show that I do. It used to be, comics would come out on Wednesdays. That would be the new day. And for the most part it is, but DC comes out on Tuesdays. And I would, talk about comics that were going to be coming out. And we had a live format before, but it was a little bit less chaotic than this one is. And before that, we had like a nice little show where we actually showed pictures of comics and I would talk about them and give my 2 cents, a little bit more than just the ramblings that I have with guests on the show. So this is my weekly show, and it's a comic book store owner's point of view. I talk about what comics sell well in the store, what sells well in the country, or maybe sometimes as opposed to, and what I personally like, what I'm trying to push, and what's different between shilling for a book so that I can make money for the store, or I'm actually sharing something that I actually enjoy. This is usually more about what I actually enjoy, although there is a part in the show where I will show you what comes out tomorrow. We were closed today because today is my birthday, and I decided to take it off, although I definitely wanted to show up today because I have a very special guest lined up. In fact, I have some lined up tentatively. I should have gone to work yesterday, but it's my birthday, so I decided not to. Anyway, lined up for the next few weeks, and I'm really excited about that. And for any of you that haven't watched the show in a while, I've taken your considerations to heart, and trying to make it a little bit fun for everybody. And I really appreciate everybody that shows up and hangs out and lets me know what they think. And if you do, let me know what's going on in the comments right now, or maybe afterwards you can leave something behind. Make it a nice package, though. Let's say hi to everybody in chat first. Christine was here first. Excellent. I saw that. There was no way to let you know that I guess there was, but I didn't want to tell. Fantinuum, hello. How's it going? Can't wait to see you tomorrow. There's some really good books coming out. Coffee Junkie, I dragged her here. ATN, how's it going? It's like I just saw him earlier today. And definitely Jill, I saw earlier today. Let's see who else is here. Anybody else that is? Oh, Courtney. Hello, Courtney. Thank you very much for the. Thank you very much. Courtney shows up for the Wrestling Council, which is on the Talkin' Vols Network. I will put up a banner so you can see that in just a moment. I'm busy and I do all sorts of things. And one of the things I do is watch wrestling, which I will be doing when I get off of this today with you. Lorenzo, hey, how's it going, man? Thank you. This is like 2 weeks in a row. Eric, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Everybody, yeah, this is great. All right, cool. So I have a guest that I am going to grill. I said, you can in the comments ask Yule anything. And I meant it, but I didn't really mean I wanted to really have you ask me anything. And I definitely don't want you to ask this person anything. Although if you have something pertinent to what this guy's rambling on about, that will do. Before we do that, though, I want to share a couple of things. Let me see. Okay, yeah. All right. Just a couple things. I'm going to share screen. I can do this. I was on Thinking Critical today on YouTube. Look at that right there. And that's me. Oh, look at me there. I'm talking in the hat that I'm wearing right now. You'll see that in a moment. If you go to Fantastic Comics Presents, you'll see me watching Fantastic Comics Presents. I am going to have a video come up soon, probably like tomorrow. I said it was going to come up today, but it isn't. And what it is a clip of a video that I did, or an interview I did with a creator. And it is up on my Patreon page. So anybody that gives to our Patreon should go on over there. And even if it's just $1 a month, that's awesome. You'll get access to it. And it's a pretty fun interview. And I think it runs the gamut of stories that you're going to want to listen to. And kind of like the guest today. So if you are not a Patreon member and are interested in a way to help us fund our store without coming in and buying comics, you can check out our Patreon page. Thank you very much. And now, our guest. Welcome, Yule Carter. How's it going?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Let me get that. There you go. Hey, you spell it the same way as I do.
That's really weird because I thought I was the only one.
My father, ladies and gentlemen.
It is good to see everybody's on listening to them, though I don't understand.
Well, it's
if it wouldn't have been for me, there would be no Fantastic Comics.
Mm-hmm.
I got him started with John Brazil years and years and years and years ago. By the way, he is finally a grown-up.
I am finally a grown-up.
That's right.
Are you seeing the screen by any chance?
I see the screen. Everybody saying, hello, Yule. Uncle Yule.
Uncle Yule. Jilby Pill says Yule #1.
Yeah.
I used to be Little Yule.
I'm not Yule #1, though. My dad was also Yule.
That's right.
So the reason there's no junior or senior is because we all have the same middle initial, but different middle names.
That's right. I usually don't tell people my middle name.
No,
So, what was that?
It's W.
It's W. Yes, it is.
Just like mine. And my dad, I'll give you my dad's middle name, Wustall. Now you know why Yule won't tell you his. Hey, Joe, is that Joe or is that Joe I know?
I don't know if it's Joe you know. I don't think it is. I think it's one of my customers.
Because I know a Joe.
Casey's in the chat. I told her that you were going to show up. You're like she's the only person I told, pretty much.
Boy, Big Yule. You've never seen a picture of me and you're calling me big.
There was a time when I was Big Yule and you were Bigger Yule, right?
Yeah, it's still that way.
No.
Yeah.
You're wasting away, Dad.
Yeah, I certainly am. I'm holding steady.
How's
John
go
Brazil was in Alhambra, California.
That was quite a drive for us to go there.
It was a ways from the house, and he sold comic books. And the reason I took him to a comic book store is when he was real little and couldn't read, he wanted me to read a comic book to him. And you can't read a comic book to somebody else. And so he learned to read with comic books.
Yeah.
And we went to John Brazil and started buying comics there. We'd buy 10 of whatever he wanted, read one and put the other 9 away, which is how the only help I gave him in starting a store.
I still have some of those books.
They're a lot older now.
Yeah, they're going up in price. There's a lot of change in the industry that you don't know a thing about.
No, I didn't know a thing about it then. I just paid the money and bought the book.
Oh, come now. You had long conversations about what was hot, and I had nothing to do with that. All I wanted to do was just read the comics.
Yeah, I gave you one. That was good enough. Where did John get his comics from?
I don't.
That place.
The way it works is, there's the different distributors, and for the longest time, there's only been one distributor, and ever since the COVID era, there has been 2 distributors. So DC split away from Diamond, but back in those days, there was Diamond and Capital, and there were even smaller ones that would distribute some of those books.
Yeah, but he got all his old ones from a.
Oh, I don't know. He was very good at getting that stuff, procuring those things.
The guy sold all his comics, John. He stored them away from way back when, and they were all in Mylar.
Yeah.
And so he got really, really good comics from him.
Oh, yeah.
Very expensive back then. Silver Age, what else was a long time ago?
You tell me, man.
I've been around longer than Yule by 27 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's my birthday. Hey, did you know that I have, so every time someone passes away that I take note of, I kind of think like, oh, well, that's one of those markers that I have to go and, reach.
Well,
so
I'm going to put mine out of reach.
You're going to put it out of reach for me.
That's right. I don't plan on dying.
All right. Excellent. If I have that goal in mind, then I guess I won't either. But I wanted to outlast the previous comic book store owner that I worked for because he died at 50.
But he was well known.
Oh, well.
Does anybody know you?
Hey, I have tens of 20s of people that watch me.
Tens of 20.
Yeah. Sometimes even more because of the Wrestling Council or even that Thinking Critical channel I was talking about.
Oh, your WWE's coming out?
It's not necessarily wrestling. The Thinking Critical is comic book related, and I do I guest on a show every other week also. I'm burning myself out, but I'm trying to figure it out. It's not to but I mean, seriously, this show is to have a conversation with my customers and anybody else that's interested about hearing about a person that likes comics and that owns a comic book store. And, in COVID, there isn't that conversation in that comic store for everybody anymore. And this kind of is that thing. So I was doing it beforehand. I guess I was ahead of the time.
Well, we both of us, we go way back.
We go way back.
I was actually around when Silver Age was out.
Yeah. Well, you were. Yeah, I was.
Now back that up. Is that the Eileen and Ron are on?
Yeah, they did. Here,
All right.
I'll leave it up for a second. Hey guys, you called Jill's phone also, by the way. But I heard the message anyway, so thank you very much. I'm going to bring up some comic book images while we talk if you're watching the screen, okay? Are you watching the screen? I want to make sure you're doing that down. You can see the screen?
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right. Give me your thoughts when you see these covers, okay?
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
He's returning again?
No.
How many Dark Knight returns have there ever been?
He returned, and then he striked again, and then he had the Master Race most recently.
Yeah, the thing about Yule, the younger,
me.
That's you, is when he was learning to read, he did something that I never did. He read the stupid little things from the editor
notes. Yeah.
Right. He read all those excerpts as seen in issue such and such. And he could remember that. And so he knew who was on cover of issue such and such because he read all that stuff. And so he was actually probably meant to have a comic book store.
Probably.
His knowledge, I hate to say this, his knowledge of comic books was really big.
I slowed down since then.
That's all I can say. My son knew a lot about comics.
How useless.
Oh, it goes right with your name.
Right. Do you remember this? The DNA agents?
I do, but that's so long ago.
That's so long ago.
Is they still out?
No, it's not still out, and nobody that is younger than me really cares about it.
How about Conan the Barbarian?
Hold on, don't shoot so fast. I'm bringing up, you're supposed to tell me what you think about it.
Dreadstar. Been there, done that.
You liked that one. You actually read it.
I read a lot of comics.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? The Marvel graphic novel?
Yeah, I used to buy graphic novels.
Yeah, we got those. What are you owing?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay, very good.
I thought you drank something in.
No, I was laughing at you.
Elfquest, I remember it well.
Yeah.
They always drew the girls sexy.
They did. I think they drew the men kind of sexy too. Look at that guy back there.
That's a
I
guy.
mean, yeah, that's a dude.
I guess it
Well,
is.
I mean, her tits ain't hanging out, so
That's
his
right.
are. So free the nipple.
But he only has a 2-pack, or is it two packs? So he's got a 4.
Well, I mean, they're elves. They don't have as many
That's right.
abdominal muscles.
Torso. That's right.
They're still tough. Look at that guy in the front.
That's an awfully big elf.
You liked Wendy Peeney, right?
Really did. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a good artist. She's still working on it.
Is she really?
Yeah, they did it's Elf Quest, the last story, the last tale, whatever it's called. All right, what do you think of this one? Remind us.
I remember that cover.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Do you remember the story?
They put a red line through NK.
Say, what was that? Oh, I don't know.
The
It's
red line
just blood.
I mean, I always wondered why.
Do you remember that? It's the Ronin is the guy whose master died, and he kills the demon that killed his master, but in dying, the demon curses him to have to live this over and over again. And then it's like in the far future. And then that same guy is now in the body of an armless, legless technopath.
Thank God I didn't follow the story that far.
New York is so... No, you got to remember this. New York is so horrible and destitute and disgusting. And then the demon comes back and he's like, this is where he is. He's like, this is New York. He's like, I'm going to like this place.
That's right.
And that's the end of the first issue.
You'd actually like it today.
I sell Ronin, by the way. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah, I had a lot of those.
Yeah. Brent Anderson shops in our store, or had before COVID. The artist of the book. Remember we went to Golden Apple and saw that signing?
And what was the name of it? God, see, the thing about getting old is you don't remember yesterday.
You're thinking of Alfredo Alcala.
Yes.
Yes.
He drew the pictures for us. You would wonder, what the hell is he drawing? And then when he finished, you say, "Oh, I understand now."
Yeah, he would started with like just the shoulder bone.
Yeah, he started
and he grew the picture from there.
Oh, it was hard to tell what he was doing.
Do you remember this one, Lloyd Llewellyn, by any chance?
I don't.
Oh, that's too bad. This is probably one of the first independent, not like, turtle comic independent books that we got. And it changed me.
They almost have your name in there. Panther Graphics.
No, that's a Y. Do you remember Mage?
Yeah, 1 or 2 issues only.
Okay. Yeah, I love that book. That was a good one. That was during our time. How about this one?
Moon Knight, yes.
Moon Knight. What do you remember about Moon Knight?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I used to buy 10.
It's 10 number ones.
Every number one.
Every number one, yeah.
Every
10.
number one that came out. And if they were any good, I kept buying 10 for a while. And then if my son said no, then I dropped it off to 5.
I was in charge of the overspending.
That's right.
I got off a show one time when I was talking about how we would buy comic books. I would just say, oh yeah, we get 5 of this and 10 of this. And I'd do the breakdown of how there was a reading copy and one for each brother and one for you guys. And Jill afterwards said, holy cow, no wonder you guys always are weird financially. And I'm like, no. Those are only like 75 cents a piece.
That's right.
Because comics now are like $3.99, $4.99.
I play a game. I'm playing online, Albion.
Yeah.
Jeff pulls this on me all the time. He says, "Hey, there's a new game coming out. You should."
My brother Jeff, by the way.
And I get on it, and then he quits, and I'm still playing the game. But I've been playing for so long. People are saying, "Wow, that weapon cost 75 million silver." I said, let me put it this way. I never go where I can be killed because I can't afford to buy this anymore. When I bought it, it was 15, it was 10 million. It was easy to buy. Comics are the same way. They used to be a nickel and a dime when I bought them.
A nickel and a dime. Now, my uncle, Uncle Ron, he told me the story about how when comics went from 10 cents to 12 cents, he was like, I'm out. I'm done.
I'm done.
That's crazy. I mean, to me, 2 cents was like nothing.
We were buying John for 2.5, and then they went up from there.
Uh-huh.
Ridiculous pricing.
Yeah, it just got released that in a few months, DC is going to have some of their books actually cost $6 a month. Now, they'll have extra story in them, but it's you told me one time, if you want to get rich, figure out something that a kid wants that will cost less than $5 or $5
or less. Yeah,
or less, and you'll get rich.
Like the hula hoop.
Right.
They went crazy.
They went crazy for the hula hoop.
That's right.
Why did you go crazy for the hula hoop? I mean, I have some suspicions, but I don't really
keep it up. I never could keep it up on my waist. It always the ground. You had to have swivel hips.
Now I understand.
They had kids that could keep 5 and 6 going at one time or more.
I got to admit, I am less interested in the hula hoop when a man's using it.
Well, that's true too. But you know what? It's great exercise.
Oh, I see. Okay, very good.
I did the exercise.
What was your favorite comic growing up then?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Superman.
Superman, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did read the Archie comics.
Uh-huh.
And some of the others, but Superman was my own. If I was going to spend my dime, I'd spend it on Superman.
Very good. Awesome. Now, you weren't old enough to purchase the first Superman when it came out, right?
No, and then I couldn't afford it when we started.
Funny enough, if you look at some of the, I got a facsimile edition of the first price guide, and things like giant-sized X-Men, which is now thousands of dollars in, very great condition, only costs like $5.
Well,
I might be wrong. Maybe it was 10, but it's not much.
All the comics that I brought up in the car for your store were all in Mylar, mainly, and they were all never touched.
Never touched, yeah.
Except to put them in the Mylar.
Yeah, I had them when Comic Relief was still a store, also.
That's right.
So that was all the way back then. So I've been holding on to them for quite a while. Yeah.
I never had a #1, but I had some 15s and 17s, except for the new stuff.
Obviously.
I like stuff that you didn't like.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Oh, I can't remember the title, but you said that's crap.
Oh, yeah, well, sometimes. I was opinionated. I never said this was crap, though. Savage Sword of Conan.
I thought Conan was fairly decent.
I just read one of his short stories. I guess most of his were short stories, but
they're short stories.
Yeah, I think he only wrote one Conan novel. Howard. How's that one? That one's pretty good.
Yep, I remember that one. I also bought the bigger size.
This is the bigger sized one.
These are the big ones?
Yeah, well, you can't tell. And yes, it's Savage Sword, so it's the big ones.
Oh,
these are the black and whites. There might be a boob. There's definitely a lot more violence. There's blood, even though it's in black and white. It's not as PG as the comic book was. The comic book is not PG anymore.
And I was buying those when you were around.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Do you remember this?
The Amazing Spider-Man, the rumors are true. I remember when he fought the Green Goblin.
Well, yeah.
I remember that one.
He's done that a few times.
Yeah. And then, but he was a friend of the Goblin's son, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Harry. Harry's now I can't remember what they're calling him, but he's some dude that has like these scarabs that crawl all over people.
They had that in the movie.
Did they?
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was a rom-com.
Yeah. Do you remember this by any chance?
The Mighty Thor.
You remember Beta Ray Bill? That's like pretty classic. All right, here you go. You got to know this one.
Well, yeah.
Now, you have said that you had it in your hand.
That's still going on today.
Oh, it's still going on today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They do movies.
It's a movie.
Oh, yeah. They've done movies.
A couple of them, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. At least.
Oh, that's an old one.
That's an old one.
50 cents, man.
Yeah, we had a bunch of those. How about that one? That's the one I was telling you about.
The giant size, yeah.
Yeah. Paul Smith. Remember The Brood? You have to remember The Brood.
Yeah.
You're like, if this was a novel, this would be so long. It'd be like this. Okay, that's it. All right. So, Pop, tell me about you. I want people to know about you. I want to hear some of your stories so that so they can be captured for all time.
Not me, right?
About you. You can tell one about me, but I'm boring. My dad was in the military. You would tell me stories about being in the military and how you got in there.
I played basketball.
You played basketball? Yeah.
Fast pitch softball. It was a tough life.
Where were you stationed in Guam? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was on permanent guard duty for 4 years. My MOS was right as infantryman, and I never did infantryman except in boot camp. All I ever did was guard duty. I was good at it.
You were good at guard duty. Oh, excellent.
No, you can't go up there.
But you were good at you were a pretty good shot, right?
I was an expert marksman.
Expert marksman.
Yeah,
they had no use for you, and
well, yeah, because in the Marine Corps, everybody's MOS, that's your job title, is infantryman, and then whatever you did was a different MOS, but you were always 0311/, and they were using you somewhere else. If you were a cook, you had your rifle at the ready all the time in case you had to go fight. You could immediately go cook rifleman. So I shot 247 on the range out of 250. I tell you what, if I have a pistol, you can be 15 feet away and be safe. If I have a rifle, you can be 500 yards away and you're dead. I'm lousy with a pistol. So what they give me to carry? A flamethrower.
Now
I was walking around
with
a pack full of napalm on my back. And they let me carry that. Nobody walked in front of me.
Give him a wide berth.
That's right. Watch out. Here comes Jewel. Watch out.
You would regale us with some of your stories in boot camp.
Well, I in advanced infantry training, we had to throw grenades, and they said, and grenades not a real light little thing. It's pretty heavy. They showed us how to throw it. They put us in a 2-man, whatever you want to call it, ditch. 2-man. We both got in, and if you dropped the grenade, there was a sump that went out at an angle down and away from you. But if you stayed in there, it'd blow your legs off. So they said, make sure that when you pull the pin, you don't let go of the grenade. So I was in the pit with the guy, and he dropped the grenade. We got out real quick, and it blew up. It's just wonderful that we weren't in there. Shot rocket launchers, 3.2. I also carried for a while, a grenade launcher. They made a little rifle out of it, and you could actually pinpoint 300, 400 meters and pull the trigger, and it'd go that far. Of course, you had to know how far the guy was away to hit it. Hey, he's only 100 meters away. You shot at 400. Oh, my mistake. I had a lot of stuff, but main thing was guard duty and sports.
And sports. So,
I learned to play golf.
So when did you serve?
I got out. Let's better say when I got out.
When did you get out?
When I got out, they were just getting ready to go balls to the wall in Vietnam. And they asked me if I wanted to re-enlist. And I said, nope.
What?
I got out in 64. I was in for the JFK assassination. That's John Kennedy assassination. We packed up our sea bags ready to go. Never went anywhere. I was in when the Russians were bringing missiles, the Cuban Missile Crisis. I was in then. We packed our sea bags, got ready to go, and the Russians backed down, and so we didn't go. So everything was get ready, don't go. Get ready, don't go.
And play sports.
So we actually never, in my 4 years, we played war games. We never did anything. And I come to learn that I was really lucky, and that saying no to Vietnam was really a good thing.
Yeah, for me.
But the thing is, if I would have gone in 64 and gone to Vietnam, there would have been no problem. But when I was getting ready to get out of my 4 years, I decided no. And then I met your mother.
Oh yeah, are we telling that story?
No.
Okay.
We'll tell that. You met the shy girl that I met. The shy girl that has one margarita now and talks to everybody in the room.
She does that if she's in line at the grocery store. I would remember as she's writing a check, she's telling about her whole day.
That's right. Yeah, but the thing is,
I'm like, Mom, nobody cares.
When I met her, she wouldn't talk to anybody.
I see.
if she was walking down an aisle in a grocery store and saw somebody coming at her that she knew, she would turn around and go around and go down another aisle, just so she wouldn't have to say hello.
I understand that.
I fixed that. Being from Texas, it was hands-on and talk to anybody.
Talk to anybody. That's true. That's true.
A person was just a friend you hadn't met yet. And if you didn't say, hello, how are you? You'd never know if they were a good friend or not.
All right. So what is a friend then?
Well, that's someone you say hello to, which was anybody you meet.
Well, there you go. How did you choose what branch of the military you're going to actually enter?
Oh, I told you that, didn't I?
No, you have not told us that.
My dad was in the Navy.
Uh-huh.
My mother said, don't go in the Navy. She said, don't try the
Just say it.
try the Marine Corps, you'd never make it. And so I went up and the Navy, the line was way too long. So I went to the Army. And I went in and I got all jazzed about going in the Army. And I said, I'll be back tomorrow.
Now, why were you so jazzed about going into the Army?
No, because they would let you do sports.
Uh-huh.
They would, I said, I'm a baseball player, basketball. They would let you do sports. And I said, well, that's a great idea. So I went down there the next day and I knocked on the door. And nobody was in. And I knocked, and the door at the end of the hall opened, and a Marine stepped out in dress blues. He said, who are you looking for, son? I said, oh, I'm looking for the Army recruiter. He said, he broke his leg. He won't be in for a while. What do you want the Army for anyway? Come on down here. I signed for 4 years right then.
Now, there is another aspect to that story that you would tell also.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. You would talk about, now, that was your mother was like in an accident, right? During that time?
She was in the hospital.
Was this the accident that like screwed her hip up for like all my life?
This is the accident when she was listed dead on arrival at the hospital. And so they thought she was dead. And so they were moving her around and she said, what are you doing? They said, oh, yeah, she's alive. But the thing is, she had false teeth and the mouth was so bloody that the teeth were coming out of the mouth. They thought that her face was ruined and it was just false teeth. But there was so much blood, she went head on into a bridge abutment. She hit it so square, it put her license plate numbers in the cement. You could read them. And so they said she must have fallen asleep at the wheel. My mother said, nope, I was run off the road. It was a 4-lane highway onto a 2-lane bridge. So anyway, she listed dead on arrival, and I figured, well, I better do something to make money. So I went to the military.
Right.
Because I was 18 years old. I didn't know anything.
Now, you told her you were going to sign with the Army.
Yeah, she said that's good because you'd never make it in the Marine.
She's like on her deathbed, and she's dogging you for not being able to be a man enough to be in the Marines.
That's right. You'd never make it in the Marine Corps. Oh, good.
Now, you told me I could not make it in the military in any way, shape, or form.
No, you wouldn't.
And what was the reason for that?
Because you don't believe in doing what people tell you.
You would say that I always ask why.
Oh, yeah, they don't want anybody to ask why. Because the GIs, the drill instructor, told me when we graduated, and he had us sit down, talk to us. He was actually a real nice guy then, but all before he wasn't. But he said, we don't like college graduates in the military. And he said, and we said, well, why don't you like college graduates? Because they ask why. He said, they want to know why. In other words, at 6 o'clock in the morning, 0600, we're going to jump out of all these foxholes that we've dug so nice and deep, because up on that hill, they've got 12 machine gun nests and they're firing at them. So we got nice deep foxholes. At 6 a.m., we're going to jump up, all of us, everyone together, and we're going to charge up that hill and take those 12 machine guns out. And if you ask why me? And they said, if you all jump up and run up the hill together, we're going to take 25% casualties. If 25% of you stay back, we're going to lose all 75% of the other men. And so he says, we don't want anybody to ask why. When we say blow the whistle or whatever, you just jump and go. screaming right into the teeth of the machine gun. And he says, we don't want you to ask why. Because if you ask why, you'll never go. So anyway, that was the why question.
There was another story you would tell about how you couldn't say a certain word.
You.
That's
a female sheep. Do I look like a sheep to you? They can do it. They can say you. Yeah, that was just something to get you, so they could jump on you when you did it. Because you, the personal pronoun, is used all the time. Sir, what does the drill instructor want, sir? Not what do you want, it's what does the drill instructor want? It's not you. So I said you one time too many. And he had a tent peg in his hand. The piece of wood comes to a point that you beat into the ground to hold the tent, stretch out the tent, hold it up. And he took the tent peg and he hit me in the Adam's apple. Every time he said, how many times have I told you never to use? He hit me 8 times in the throat. I had a sore throat for 2 weeks.
Jesus.
And then the other time I went in there and I said, of course, it's what do you want, turd? They don't call you anything nice. And I said, I wanted a stupid broom. And I couldn't remember to save my ass what I wanted. I just stood at attention and said, sir. He knocked me out. I fell and hit my head on a footlocker. That's a chest. And I was bleeding from the head. And he had his hand giving me, well, it's not mouth to mouth because he was nowhere near my mouth. But he was pushing my stomach up and down, up and down, up and down, trying to get me some air in my lungs. And he had the gall. He chewed my ass out for falling into his footlocker.
Holy cow.
So that was it. And that was the kinder, gentler Marine Corps. I would have hated to seen it any time before that. They were trying to be really nice to it because they didn't want us riding home to mommy.
Right.
They're hurting me.
I would have written home to mommy.
They're being mean to me.
I was appalled when you would tell me that story. I thought this is ridiculous. It's just no way in hell this is possible.
Well, that's why my mom said I would make it in the Marine Corps.
But you did.
I showed her.
Oh man. But you got to play basketball and baseball.
Oh yeah. Basketball was a great game.
Uh-huh.
Oh God. The guys throw the ball 80, 90 miles an hour from 40 feet. Of course, if they were 60 feet away, it wouldn't be going that fast. But from 40 feet, the ball got there really quick.
Now you're a hot shit baseball player in high school.
I thought I was. I tried out for I got scouted by the Dodgers and tried out for the Pirates. I was a pitcher. I went to a training camp for the Pirates.
This is in Texas?
Yep. And I was going to show them what was what. And I got out there, got the first 3 guys out. The second inning, they only pitched 2 innings. The second inning, I threw absolutely my best pitch. Ball still hasn't come down. I've never seen a ball hit that far in the major leagues. There was no fence, and it just went out of sight.
Well, when it gets to that Gulf Stream, it just keeps going.
You got it up there, too. I can't tell you what. How in
So
the
your
hell?
baseball career was over.
Well, I figured it was. How in the hell could he hit a ball that far? And how could he hit the ball I pitched? It was really a good pitch. He had to have made a mistake because nobody hit that pitch. Anyway,
Nobody hits it.
no.
It was lucky.
But one of the guys I played with got to spring training. So that
For
was
the Pirates.
no, the Dodgers.
Oh, the Dodgers. All right.
Yeah, I was scouted by the Dodgers, and they took him.
Now, who was your team growing up?
Yankees.
And why was it the Yankees? In Texas, you're going to be a Yankee fan?
You got to understand, there was no team in Texas.
Right.
Yankees had Mickey Mantle,
Yeah.
Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
They had a lot of good players.
But you like the Mick.
Yeah. Well, who wouldn't?
I don't know what
The Mick hit all his home runs drunk. The only ones that beat him used steroids. See, being drunk was okay. He hit a home run almost out of Yankee Stadium, and they said, well, we don't understand how you hit that. He said, I just hit the ball in the middle. He said, I saw 3 balls coming up. I hit the one in the middle. So, yeah, he wasn't supposed to play that day. He had the flu. He was in no condition to play, and then so he drank the night before, and he hung over, and he had to play. Put him in the pinch hit. Just goes to show you that sometimes a blind pig gets an acorn now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd always do Mickey Mantle stories. You were hot on that guy.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that Seinfeld where George wants to keep his number?
Yes, I did. I don't watch Seinfeld, but that was funny. I played golf with God, what was his name? I played golf with one of the baseball players. It was a tournament for sports guys.
Uh-huh.
They still have them to this day. And they needed a fourth, so I filled in because I was always out there. And I also played with Craig Stadler. He was
really?
He was on the PGA Tour. I played with him when he was at USC. And I hit a ball off the first tee, and I just creamed it. It was gone. And he hit one, and he skied it. It went straight up. And I walked past the first ball, going to the ball in the distance, and he said, this is your ball back here. And I said, holy cow. He hit that ball a mile high, and it went way past my ball. I said, okay. And the only thing he was better at than driving was putting. The greens were really bad where I played. And God, if he didn't make the putt, he was just an inch or two away.
Where was this? Like in DeWarty?
Yeah, no, it was in Arcadia.
What was that? Industry Hills?
No, Arcadia Park. Industry
Hills.
I
see.
Was Industry Hills.
Oh, it was in Industry Hills.
That was a professionally laid out course.
The Arcadia one. I guess I just drove past it.
Oh, remember the park in Arcadia? Arcadia Park? Right.
You mean like the mall?
Right by the racetrack.
Santa Anita Mall and all that stuff? Yeah.
Well, yeah, the golf course was called Santa Anita, but it was in Arcadia Park.
I see.
Yeah. The
Craig Stadler, the Walrus?
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him.
That has to be worth a point.
He was bigger than me. That's saying something.
Do you remember that baseball player you played golf with?
No. I played I played golf and saw that. Chances are the singer. Oh well, my memory's a shot, really.
Yeah,
But
well, I
anyway,
expect that.
I saw him down the. I was on the tee, and he was off to the right, hitting a shot to another green. I played with a lot of people that I played and saw a lot of people that were famous. Uh, we at the game very bad past record and left early.
Yeah, that happened. I was like in the audience, and
Well,
Craig's like,
Barry
let's leave.
Bonds, they don't think he was. They thought he might have been using something.
Yeah, he might have been.
Because he was 160 pounds, and then he wound up 220.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it never helped his noodle arm, so he couldn't throw anybody out.
They've got guys that can throw rockets.
No, not that guy. It's like legendary.
I was in Little League, and they told my mom, they said, "That's your son. What's he doing? He's a pitcher. What's he doing in the outfield?" She said, "Have you seen him throw to home plate?" And so he said, "I bet he can't throw over the scoreboard from home plate." And she said, $5. She got her $5. She said, "Throw the ball over the fence, over the scoreboard." I haven't. I was a better outfielder, except they needed a pitcher more than they needed an outfielder.
And you weren't a very good hitter, right?
I was really bad until I was 13.
Uh-huh.
And then I hit 300 or above.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is, in school ball and in the higher leagues, you've got to be hitting 600 or 800. And by the time you get to the majors, you're hitting 275.
Right.
That's the difference in the pitching. So people that hit 340 in the majors, they're beasts. They really are. You're lucky. You guys like me are lucky to hit 215.
Right.
Yeah. That's another reason it's good to be a pitcher. You have to be able to bunt. Get the guy along.
Don't even need to do that anymore soon. The National League this year won't, but I think next year is going to adopt the DH, and as a
then you'll never have to bat.
Never have to bat. It's a shame because
remember Fernando Valenzuela?
It's hard to forget him.
He used to pinch hit.
Yeah, he was good.
He was a pinch hitter,
and he had some pop too.
Yep.
The Giants had Madison Bumgarner, and he was a really good hitter. Like, you have to throw your good stuff with him, or else he's going to get a hit, and it's possibly going to go far.
You get stalled on my computer.
Oh, well, we'll see if we'll see. We'll see.
Everybody that saw him stall, let me know.
Well, when we talk at the same time, it will break up a bit. So depending on how you see it, but it's all right.
We've been talking over each other, and it's never stopped before.
Yeah, no, not. Well, it depends. I mean, it kind of sounds that way. It doesn't matter. Let's not get derailed here. Hey, I want to show you a couple of comic books that I purchased recently.
Okay.
All right. So I've been buying some Spider-Man from this website. I know, not my own site. And I got this Spider-Man right here. I was alive for all of these.
That looks like they're in pretty good condition.
Oh, they're in really good condition. And of course, the Mylar.
That makes them shiny.
Yeah, it makes it look really good. So I've been on a Spider-Man purchasing kick.
You think they're going to go up?
No, not at all. I mean, they always do, at least a little bit. But I promised people on Instagram that I would show those off. I also pressed them recently, which is a service that I have at the store. And the concept is that you take these comics that have like wrinkles in them and you press them with heat. It gets the wrinkles out. What do you think about that?
I think it's cheating.
Well, I'm not coloring it or anything like that. So
Yeah.
There have been people that have brought it up, I think, but I think for the most part it's a common practice, and as long as you don't ruin it, it usually grades well, so it helps it out. Those Spider-Mans were for me, not for the shop, but I do them also. Since it was my birthday, I took the opportunity to do it for myself rather than for the customers that are paying for it. But I took an off day, so what are you going to do?
What are you doing during COVID? Nothing?
We have a very small store now.
I know.
Anybody that goes in or has seen a video that I posted knows it's a very small store. And I was actually more worried about when we won't have COVID, because we still can only fit like 3 or 4 people in the store at any one time, really.
Really?
Yes, it's very small. It's very small.
When Jeff works, can they get one extra person in?
Fuck you. Sorry, everybody.
I knew there was a reason you had Jeff there. Get that extra customer in.
I've been working downstairs, I'll have you know, because I'm the healthier one. Moving stuff around. No, the stores, so COVID, we allow one person, we'll call it one pod at a time. So anybody that's anybody that's gotten each other whatever germs and heebie-jeebies that they have all over them, they can come in. We all have to wear masks. There's an open door always, so it's not like there isn't air running through the place, but it is very small, and we stay away from people other than the fact that they can actually go and touch comic books.
Yeah,
and
all
comic books that they touch,
All you people that used to go to the other store, that's the nicest comic book store I've ever seen.
Which one? My store? My old one?
Yeah, your old one. That was roomy, big, had room in the back for the dog.
Uh-huh.
You can get the dog in your store now, can you?
The dog comes in, but it's small, so it's okay. Everybody, here, I have a gizmo. I have a gizmo for you.
Did he need it?
He's so great. He was the replacement dog.
Yeah.
And I like him.
That was replacement.
Yeah, he's all right. I dig him. Let me put up another banner before I send you on your way. I want to make sure that everybody knows that we have a Patreon page. Oh, yeah. So Sci-Fi Fantasy Read Along is a podcast that I do with ATN and a guy named Phil. And sometimes ATN does one with Jill. They are actually recording some sci-fi material right now. It's the Earthsea Book 1, Ursula K. Le Guin. And recently we did Foundation, Isaac Asimov's, the first book. So check out Sci-Fi Fantasy Read Along. And if you are a fan of wrestling or know a fan of professional wrestling, check out the Talkin' Vols Network, because we do the Wrestling Council there. Also, if you like Tennessee football for some reason or Tennessee basketball, you might check it out because they're really into that. Go Bama! I'm just joking. Also, we have a Patreon page. These are our patrons. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen, the interview that's up there is for you. Please download it. Listen to it. It's good for your earbuds. There are going to be clips of that on YouTube, but it's not going to be the entirety of what you're listening to. Plus, I have outtakes that I'm going to share with you that will mean nothing to you, but it's a little extra. There's one where the person is I'm talking to them about my buddy Todd. And if you don't know Todd, you really don't care, but it's an outtake. So look for on YouTube, Whose Chopper Is This? Because that is the name of the interview show that we're doing. Pops. How you doing? Did you get any drinking during that time?
I've got Coca-Cola.
You like Mickey Mantle, the drunkiest drunk of all drunks, and you are not a drinker really in any way, shape, or form.
I'm basically a teetotaler.
You are a teetotaler now, but I never knew you to drink.
No, I've never had a beer. I've had 4 beers in my life.
Right. I
hated every one of them. I had them all in the same night. Never had another one.
It was the 5th one that would have got you.
No. I chugged all 4 of them. Not in a row, but I chugged all 4 of them. I will have a margarita now and then. And
I've known you to do in a margarita.
Your mother, we were out with friends at a very nice restaurant. And she had 2 margaritas.
2?
Yeah. They had piped in music. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all the old guys. She started singing with the music in the restaurant.
When was this?
In the restaurant that was packed. She didn't get any applause.
Actually, that's pretty funny because. So, did you like pour Pepsi down her shirt or anything like that?
No, she poured it on my head.
She poured Pepsi on your head.
Yes, when we had a white on white 65 Chevy Impala, white on white interior, and I was picking on her about a license plate. I said, "That's an I." She says, "It's an L." I said, "It's an I. It's an L. It's I." Anyway, I went to get stuff after the first movie, drive-in theater. I went and came back with 40-ounce Cokes, in a big cup. And I just sat there and then I said, "That's an I." She said, "It's an L." I said, "It's an I." She said, "If you say that one more time, I'm going to pour this Coke on your head." I said, "It's an I." I got to tell you, we were on a double date. People that we had just met were in the back seat. She reached over and poured the Coke all over my head and all over the white seat. And I looked at her and she said, "Well, the Coke is cold. Your head is 98.6. It was steaming. There was steam coming off my head." She said she thought she was going to get killed. And I just said, "That's cold." And that was it.
That was it.
I didn't say it was an I again. I let her win that one.
Okay.
But that's the Coke story.
That's the Coke story. The Pepsi story, I think, right?
No, Pepsi. Yeah, it was Pepsi.
Yeah. It was Pepsi in our house.
Yeah. Now it's
for Coke. The longest time. Now it's Coke. You finally won. I mean, you went over to the dark side. Coke.
No, it's.
I don't drink any of that anymore.
You're smart.
Water mostly, and a lot of coffee.
You stopped smoking?
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
That's what I know. So now you don't drink Coke, you don't smoke. How come you're not healthy?
I'm not healthy. I just don't go on in that often. Also, our dentist changed plans, so I have to get a new one, which is a bummer because he was very positive, which is a bummer. Oh well.
I went in to see my. I did something that doesn't happen too often. I outlived my doctor. She died, so I had to get a new doctor. I got a young one.
Yeah. that was probably not very hard to do.
Because I'm going to get one. I'm going to live forever, so she's got to be young to.
So she knows like how you've changed over the many, many years you're going to still be alive.
Yeah, so she'll know.
Very good.
I really look good in that picture.
I know. I did a pretty good job. I mean, it was. I ripped it up off of Facebook. What were rallies all about? You used to do that along with my aunt and uncle, right?
Yeah, that was car rallies.
It sounds like a lot of wasted gas going on during those things. Do you feel like this planet is suffering because of all the car rallies that you all participated in?
Let me tell you, all the people that are on, if they're still on, I've got one thing to say. What's the cheapest gas? What's the least amount of money you've ever paid for gas? And I'll tell you, the cheapest I ever paid
less than $2 for me. I know that
10.9 cents a gallon.
Jesus Christ!
10.9.
This was not during the Carter administration, right?
No, it was way back before that.
No relation, by the way, right?
No, please.
But Billy, he's still kicking, dude.
Not Jimmy, Billy, not Jimmy.
Yeah, we don't have a problem. Just as long as we're not related to Billy. That's the important part. So I have a Kit Kat here from, I don't know where the hell this is from. Look at that.
It's some foreign country.
It sure is. I would say Asian, probably. Just put an umbrella over the whole thing. Anyway, these are Kit Kats that are matcha flavored. Have you ever had matcha, Dad?
Mocha.
I don't think it's mocha. I think it's matcha or maca.
It's green crap, it looks like.
Well, it definitely does. So I'm going to eat this. This is what mukbang is. You asked earlier before the show. Mukbang is when you eat something. Usually it's supposed to be like something really hot, like one of those. Oh, you know what? While I eat this, why don't you tell me about the hottest pepper you ever ate in Texas?
I never had a hot pepper in Texas.
Come on, you did too.
Okay.
Tell me about eating lemons and hot peppers in Texas.
I like hot stuff. I've had problems eating hot stuff. Uncle Ron.
He's a jalapeno dude.
Anyway, well, jalapenos are easy.
Mm-hmm.
You can just drink the juice. But I used to love horseradish. Well, see, I didn't realize that I was eating horseradish, but it was thinned out with mayonnaise. So it made a nice little sauce, and it had some bite to it. And so I had a hot beef sandwich, and they said, "Would you like some horseradish?" And I said, "Sure, I love horseradish." So they put this horseradish on. It's raw horseradish. I did not know that. I said, "Oh, I'll take more." Thought I was going to die. I was with Uncle Ron, your Uncle Ron. I was at a golf course, little par 3, and I asked for a bowl of chili. And I said, "Do you have any Tabasco sauce, green Tabasco sauce?" Because green had a little flavor instead of just hot. Mm-hmm. And they gave me this green bottle. And I'm thinking to myself, this bottle's a little thicker than what I'm used to. They've come out with a new size. So I took it and I went, bloop, 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 bloop. And it was
you dumped a lot on, is what you're saying.
No, 5 bloop, 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 bloop. And I looked at it, and it was a green, oily substance that didn't disappear, just sat on the top. And Uncle Ron grabbed the bottle and said, "Let me see that." And he said, "This is habanero sauce." He said, "That stuff's really hot. It's really hot. It's way hotter than Tabasco, way hotter than jalapenos." And I said, It's a full bowl of chili. So I stirred the chili up. I ate half the chili, and I went back up to the lady at the counter, and I said, "Could you refill this up with chili? Refill it, please, because it was hot." And then I had egg rolls. Never had an egg roll before. Chinese place, and they gave some sweet and sour sauce, and I took the egg roll and I spun it around in there, and he said, whoa, wait a minute. He said, "That's really, really hot." And I said, "How hot can it be? It's just mustard." Well, I took a bite. I said, "Ooh, that's hot." And the last thing I'll say is Ron again and I were at a place, and they had pizza. And he said, "Have you ever had any red flakes on your pizza?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, it gives them a little heat. It's just nice to have give them a little bite." And so I took it, and it was in a big bottle, and they had big holes so the red chili flakes could get out. And I took it and I turned it upside down and I shook. He said, "Whoa, wait a minute." He said, "Wait, see the pattern?" He said, "That stuff is hot. It's not really hot for one of them, but when you put that much stuff on it, it's going to be real hot." And I said, "It's just chili flakes." Now, when someone says that's really hot, I say, "Just give me a little." I finally learned. After 5 or 6 tries, I learned not to just think I can eat anything hot. I went in a place that had ghost peppers. They said, "Would you like a ghost pepper?" Smartest thing I ever said in my life. I said, "No, thank you." Because it's supposed to be the hottest thing around.
There's a ghost pepper challenge where you buy the chip in one bag and you just pull it out. They say don't touch your eyes after touching this chip.
Sandra Bullock, the actress,
the Oscar-winning actress.
She was on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Oh my God!
And Ellen said, "Last time you were on, you said you could eat anything hot." And she said, "I'll eat anything, I don't care what it is, with an 8-ounce glass of milk." And so they gave her a ghost pepper. She started into the spiel about how hot it was. Sandra Bullock put it in her mouth, ate it, and drank the milk. And she lived to tell the tale. She didn't even say ow. So some people got cast iron mouths and stomachs. I had that horseradish was so hot, my forehead started sweating.
There was a time when Jill was cooking horseradish for, Christmas dinner. And I was asleep and the heater was on. And I woke up and I was so hot. And she was out cooking. And as I was starting to go towards the kitchen, my eyes started watering. And she was making horseradish. And it was so strong that I felt like you would tell the story about how you would go in with the gas mask and they'd take the mask off.
Yeah.
I felt like my eyes and nose were going to snot up and bleed and everything. That's how, it was like everything just like all at once just
Think
hit
about
me.
it.
It was.
She was in there cooking.
She was cooking, yeah. It didn't even phase her.
Didn't even phase her.
And I don't like horseradish on top of it, so it's like
horseradish. Horseradish, when you go to Arby's and you get a Arby's.
No, I don't. I don't go to Arby's.
Barbecue. That's a little horseradish, horsey sauce they call it. It's mixture. It's mix of horseradish and their sauce, and it's very, very mild, but it'll give you a little bit different flavor, a little bite. That's the kind of horseradish I like. Mix it with mayonnaise, creamy horseradish. Well, you go to Morton's and you get apricot chutney.
Okay.
It's horseradish and apricot jam. It is so good that I tell them to bring me horseradish on the side, and I put in more horseradish and mix it up. It's good on toast. It's good on bread. It's good on in apricot. It's just really good. And
Just
when
really
you get
good.
when you get scallops and bacon wrapped scallops, you get apricot chutney, and I get the extra horseradish to make it a little more bite, because the apricot really tones it down. So I still do things like that, but your
But
mother,
not so often.
no.
Not these days.
My stomach is old. It's had a lot of use.
It's not the stomach, really.
Well, it goes over the gums, down the throat. It ends up in the stomach. I tell you what, I eat sometimes I get a stomach ache for a while, but
Oh yeah, sure.
it tastes so good going down that I don't care.
So you remember I told you about the Wrestling Council, a little show that I'm a part of?
Right?
We also have a t-shirt. Check this out.
Okay.
What are you wearing, kid? Greenhorn, what are you, blind or something? If you're going to dress like every other curtain jerker here in Chattanooga, jerking the curtain off the wall and wearing it, this plan's never going to work. You need to dress more like the swing man with style, class.
And that link will be in the description and the show notes afterwards, along with the Patreon page that we have. I also stole something else. Check this out. I'm going to do that a little bit more.
What's that?
That's from a program on MTV called Syphil and Ollie that ran way back when. And
Well, you would know at your age.
Yeah, well, it was one of those where I came home. I'm gonna come clean, Dad. I'm gonna let you know I got high. I just, I want you to know this. I would smoke marijuana and I would come home high. And sometimes Jeffrey would say, "Hey, are you high?" And I would say yes. And then he would say, "You got to check this out." And then he would show me something. And it was that. That was one of the times. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel a little weird about telling you about that right now. But
drug induced. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. But,
would you look at that? Our names are spelled the same.
I know, it's crazy that way. I noticed that when I was high, and it was like one of those revelations that couldn't get past.
Woo.
Actually, if I ever do write my great American novel, it's going to be about our name. And I've had a lot of thoughts on it and a lot of things that have been written down, but I've never really put pen to paper in an attempt to make it happen.
I have something that they might not know about you.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Well, at one time you changed your name to Mark.
I did. I wanted to be as plain as possible. I wanted to. You see people these days and they can change anything about them. And everybody is willing to accept it in every way, shape, or form. But all I wanted was a name change. And nobody was going to play along with that.
He called himself Mark in college.
That's right. Yeah, it's very collegey. I like this performer, this songster. And I thought they were a very, very good poet. I still do. Mark Burgess. And I kept, the C because of Carter. So I thought it would look funny if I wrote it all together. Anyway, yeah, I still don't love having such a strange name. It's like the only thing about me that's different.
Well, you're the third Yule.
I am, but of course,
And you're
again,
the only. And when I'm dead, you're the only Yule.
I am. I've often sung the Tigger song, but with Yule instead. The wonderful thing about Yule's is I'm the only one. But since you're going to live forever, I'm screwed on that. So thanks a lot again, Dad.
But the thing is, it's a name that stands out.
It is.
They always come to me. They say, God, what's your name? It's
what's your name? Or as like when I was in football practice, and not only did I have a training jersey that was the only color that nobody else had, I also had the name that was weird. And anytime I screwed up, it was like, Yule, get over here. Get over here.
And they called him a lot.
They did. I remember when we were doing 2-a-day drills, that when we came home, I was so messed up that we did the ice in the bathtub thing.
Oh.
And, you see, I mean, thank God it wasn't Texas heat, because you see people these days dying during this. I mean, maybe not so much right now, but, in the last 10 or 20 years, there had been a lot of deaths because of dehydration and keep going for the team, type mentality. And
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's all about you.
Baseball in wool outfits in 113 degrees and played 7-inning, 9-inning games. And back then you didn't drink water. I mean, you do every now and then you take a little water, but nowadays they'd have, guys go out and play 18 holes of golf. Those pros are drinking 5 bottles of water just to get around the course. I played two rounds of golf and never had water.
Oh yeah, well,
Who knew?
Thank God for Gatorade. Eventually.
Well, guess what?
I need those electrolytes.
Yule?
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hit something.
Oh, okay.
I lost it. I don't know where we are.
That's okay. We're way running late now, too.
I know you are. It's because of me. I talk a lot. Well, then let me just leave the studio.
No. Don't leave.
Okay. Well,
No, don't leave. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Don't forget we have a Patreon page if you're at all interested in hearing that really secret interview about a person I don't want to tell you whose name it is. Because that's the premise of the show. You're just supposed to listen and enjoy the conversation that I'm having, and then eventually it will unfold. If you want to cheap out, though, you can check this out on YouTube. I'll have part 1 of many that will give you clues as to who this person is.
What do you do on YouTube? How do I find you?
This is YouTube. This is the only way I can get my parents to watch my show. I had a show that actually had a lot of people watch it, in where I and Jeffrey, and with the help of a friend and a couple friends actually, rescued over $100,000 worth of comic books. Did you know that?
Nope.
100,000, Dad. I called the guy and said, I think we have these books of yours. And he's all, is the AF-15 there? Amazing Fantasy 15, Spider-Man first appearance. He's like, all he cared about is, you got the AF-15? And as a result, he gave us a Hulk 181. And I have a key. So don't even think about it, Pete Fantinuum.
Is that a good one?
It's all right. It's the first full appearance of Hulk, but there's a lot of crybabies out there that want 180 to be more special than it is. So you know what I have to say to you guys? Tough titty. Tough titty. Thank you very much, Dad, for joining me today. Thank you very much, everybody out there that is going to watch this, or that has watched this now, is going to watch this in the future. I hope you enjoyed my papa coming on the show. He's got a ton of other stories that we could have bored you with, but I wanted to keep it, A little brief.
PC?
What was that?
Little PC?
Oh, PC too. Oh yeah, we'll have an After Dark someday. How's that? We'll do it on my Yule Carter channel. For any of you out there that are watching this on Yule Carter, I'm the owner of Fantastic Comics, and that's what this really runs on. But see, Dad, we run on the Facebook page of Fantastic Comics, the Fantastic Comics YouTube channel, and the Yule Carter YouTube channel at the same time. Yeah. So it can be confusing for some people. But everybody, thank you very much. We'll be open regular hours, Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 5. Come on in and get some comics. I know I didn't talk about any, but there's some really good art coming out, and I'm looking forward to a few of these books. So come on in and say hi, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye, Dad.